What's good, y'all? You're listening to the Glow Up Podcast. We're recording remotely, but we are still a part of the Soundcasting Network here in Seattle, Washington. I am Miss Casey Carter.
I'm Naomi Raven.
And we want to remind everybody to rate, review, and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere you can listen to podcasts. We are there. So make sure to check us out. Make sure to also follow us at the Glow Upcast on all the social media platforms. And if you want to feature in our Glow Gang Spotlight that we kicked off this year, make sure to sign up. That's in our link in bio.
And if you like to receive discounts, you need to sign up for our email list so that you can see the spotlight features that are happening and receive the exclusive discounts just to our subscribers.
Yeah, if you were in last week, so the product that I use for my face, excuse my phone, is Potions Collective. I use this oil. She puts sea moss in everything. Patrice was on the show before, but I'm telling you guys, like, that face oil has changed my life. Like,
yeah, you be glowing.
And it's literally just that. And again, I always say it's because we ain't wearing makeup no more, but also the fact that oil, it has sea moss, it has everything in it, and I'm telling you, it's the best product. So if you was on our email list, you got the little exclusive. We might throw it in another email, maybe, but just had to let y'all know. Well, I got to shout out our girl MJ Fiev, amazing guest last week. Great stories. What an amazing soul. And just shout out to her for inspiring this fool. Sorry, guys. Husband calling. What is going on this week? I'm telling y'all. Okay, yes, MJ, thanks for all the stories. Great episode. Make sure to check that out. And she provides tips on how to be a badass. So I loved it. Who's our guest this week, Naomi?
Hey, girl, King Moe.
I'm so happy to be here. Y'all have no idea. Thank you for this.
Oh my gosh, yes, you are inspiring. The way that you encourage women, I can't wait for people to hear all that you do. Because when I read up on you, I was just like, wow, she is a phenomenal woman.
Yes, it's Monique Floyd, aka King Moe.
AKA King Moe. Y'all see the ground.
Yes.
Maybe y'all can't see it, but it's in the background.
Oh, yes.
We are loving it. Well, but before we get to know King Moe, let's hop into our weekly wins and lessons. Naomi, since we missed you last week, we'll let you go first. Do you have any weekly wins or lessons for us?
My win again / lesson is, and we talk about this all the time on the show, it's to get your rest when you need it. Stop pushing our bodies to that max to where we're drained. This week, I really took time to take the naps that my body needed, and it felt good because then when I woke up, I was able to get stuff done without feeling like my world was falling apart.
Awesome. I love that. King Moe, do you have any weekly wins or lessons?
Always. I take stock like every week intentionally just because it helps me level up. So one of the major lessons is actually a pattern this week is what you want ain't always what you need. Like that right there.
There we go.
Yes.
We always be wanting stuff and be begging for it. And it definitely don't be what we need or spending our money on things we don't need.
Who preach?
I know them stimmy hits. Okay.
The stimmy shimmy.
Yes, for real. So I was I heard this lesson from Big Sean. I'm gonna find the link to the interview because I've shared it with a couple of people in my life, and it was a powerful interview that he did with I don't know the guy's name, so I'm blanking out. But on the show, he shared a lesson and he said, it's not that you gotta do it, it's you get to do it. And I always think like, oh my God, I gotta do all this. I gotta go to work and I gotta feed the dogs and I gotta do this and that. But flipping my mindset and being like, I get to go to work. I get to feed my dogs. I get to wake up in my home. Not like it's not the pressure, but like being fortunate and grateful to be able to do things, I think will really change your mindset. And I kind of flipped things when I heard that interview and was like, you know what? Like there were moments, because this week was rough, with everything happening in the world and then everything happening personally. I'm like, this is a lot. But then looking at everything and being grateful and switching that mindset really helped ease things a lot. So shout out to Big Sean for that lesson because I really like that.
I love that reframe.
Yes, it was. Oh, I gotta send you guys the interview because the guy, he's like a monk. So it's just like a spiritual interview and like talks about how Big Sean went from like where he was to where he is now as far as being like very mindful and at one with himself. And it's dope because I've been a Big Sean fan forever. So to see that growth and to hear how he went through everything, it's dope. So I'll make sure to share that with everyone. I need to catch my breath.
That heart rate's still up.
Yeah, my heart rate's still up. Okay, let's get into our vibe check. King Moe, what are you vibing with this week?
Y'all, I'm vibing with hypnotherapy.
Tell us more.
Yes, I have had over the past 6 months, I have had some amazingly mystically, spiritually connecting experiences under hypnosis. And y'all, hypnosis is not like what you see on TV. It's so not the trance. Please don't believe the hype. It's just another for me, it's another personal development tool that allows me to tap in, tune in, and turn on and be mindful and be grounded and, you know, to be in my body. So I'm definitely vibing with it. It's like another form of therapy.
How did you get into that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm always studying. I'm like a personal development junkie. And I have been like on this path for probably about 8 or 9 years. So I started studying just to unlearn a lot of things. It was a way for me to unlearn like the social programming and like all those kinds of things. So I started with self-hypnosis first. That wasn't working. Like I literally took a class to study to how to put myself under. Meditation is kind of a form of self-hypnosis. And then one of my friends went to school to get certified. She came back and I was her guinea pig. And then most recently, my life coach introduced it in tandem in her practice. And it's just taken me to a whole nother level. Like, whew, the stories.
I'm going to have to look into that because I am, you know, I recently opened up my about my fertility stuff, and I'm obviously, when you're in fertility, anyone listening out there, you know, you try any and everything. So that's gonna
I got somebody for you if you need it. I got a number.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna need that. Okay, I like that. Naomi, what are you vibing with this week?
So mine isn't something that the listeners can tap into, but I'm vibing with my godson was born this week, and I'm ecstatic for them. Shout out to Leah and Johannes on their beautiful baby boy.
Oh, shout out to
Yes.
Okay, that's the homie.
Yes, and so
Aw.
that's just been really cool to like see, and it's kind of inspiring. So yeah.
Oh, you know, we all about the babies over here.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm flipping things this week because it's what I'm not vibing with. And obviously we all watching the news, we on social media, we seeing all this hate crimes against Asians, particularly older Asians. And it just breaks my heart. It's really heavy. And we've got to do all our best to just fight white supremacy. That's just what it really is. It's not this color, that color, you know, Black Lives Matter. Quit the hate on the Asians, and let's like protect one another and fight against the system that has just been there to oppress us this whole entire time. Like, I hate the messaging of like the Asian people haven't stood up for us, so why would we stand up for them? You're basically choosing the other side when you say some shit like that. So let's just all stick together, fight against what's wrong, and protect especially our elders. Like, I cannot imagine my grandma.
Right?
Y'all know what Jarv got in the closet, so don't play. You know? So I'm just saying, you guys, we got to protect one another. And you know, it's really, really heavy. And, you know, I can only imagine how things were last year with the murder of George Floyd and how that felt for my Black brothers and sisters. So just imagine how we feel, you know, watching what's happening to our elders, the people who sacrifice so much to have us here. So
Preach,
all right, you guys, you want to bring us down? Oh my God. Okay. Well, we're going to hop into this quick break and then we'll be back with King Moe. All right, you guys, we are back with King Moe, Monique Floyd, the creator of Love Your Selfie and so much more. You guys, this lady is a branding queen. I'm so excited to get to know her and talk to her. So King Moe, please tell us about your background. Like, where did you grow up, and like, where did you see yourself when you were growing up? Like, what did you want to be?
That's funny. So I grew up in the South. I'm from the South. I grew up right near a little small town called Mount Holly, just right outside of where I live now. And growing up, I was just this creative, rambunctious, bold, loud soul. So ain't a lot changed, you know.
Love it.
Most things haven't changed, but growing up, I knew I wanted to I just wanted to be creative. I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know what that meant. So I was the girl with the camera, since I was a kid. I was doing makeover photo shoots on my, literally strong arming my little cousins, making them do photo shoots, dressing them up, doing their makeup, taking them outside, doing the photo shoot since I was a kid. Now, I don't know where the disconnect was, but at some point I bought into the American dream, did the college thing, came out, got the job, went to corporate, and ended up in the nuclear engineering world.
Okay.
Wow.
I spent almost 14 years in that world, basically doing science projects for the government. Like, I'm talking about plutonium, fission, fusion, the shit was over my head. But anyway, I was getting a check.
Yes, he was.
And then one day I literally woke up and decided that the life that I was living was not for me. And that's when everything changed.
What
Literally.
was there anything like internally or externally happening, or was it just like, okay, can you share?
Yeah, I had surgery.
Okay.
So I had surgery. So I had a surgery that put me on my back for like 8 to 12 weeks. And that was the first time I really had to slow down. Because before that, I was just doing stuff to fill voids. I was shopping, drinking, partying, like all those. I didn't even realize how empty I was because I was reaching for all those other things to fill me up because the things that I had bought into weren't bringing me any satisfaction. So that was my first time really having to sit with myself. Like, I couldn't be distracted. And that's a hell of a wake-up call.
Yo, we all had that last year.
Yeah.
We all got that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you got it before we all had to really do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was my wake-up call, and that was the thing that introduced purpose into my life. Before then, I was operating strictly from first chakra, surface level everything. And that's when I really started to dig into purpose. And like I said, things just took a since then.
So I love hearing that you got to start to walk in your purpose in that redirecting of your career. Was there a lot of fear in that though, knowing that you have a job that's paying the bills, that's creating that American dream that we all create in our minds what we think it is, to then doing something that you knew you were passionate about?
Okay, let me just put this out there. Yes, it was scary. I did it basically. I was just walking on faith and foolishness. I'm just going to be straight up because there was just so much I did not know, but I knew that I had to go for it. And it wasn't just changing a career, guys. I changed my whole life. I left a marriage. I left a lifestyle. I left a form of religion. I've never been a religious person, but I left a form of religion, everything. And I just started over all within 12 months. So when I tell you wild, scary, exciting, all the things, it was all the things.
Was that when King Moe was born?
That's when the seed for King Moe was planted. Because it was all about me freeing myself and seeing myself at that time in a way that I hadn't allowed myself to before. I literally gave myself permission to question everything about my life, everything that I had been taught, I had been told, what I was believing up to that point, so that I could redefine it for myself. And the way King Moe's origin story is me coming back home to all those parts of me that I had denied or people had tried to suppress or silence. It was really an alter ego for me that I realized was just really who I was.
Yeah, I love how you said you gave yourself permission. That is just, that's so beautiful in itself. Now, it's so funny because alter egos, when I'm talking to people about facing their fears or oh, I hate being on camera or I want to do this, but I just don't like it. And for me, they see me and they're like, Casey, you're always you're just out here. And I'm like, what I do is I flip the switch. There's Casey and there's Casey Carter. And it's as soon as that camera turns on, that light comes on, it's I'm not that girl. Casey's shy and quiet and don't like to be around nobody, but Casey Carter, she's out here. She is out here. So, I mean, I love that, it's I encourage the alter ego. I encourage Sasha Fierce and Beyonce are two different people.
I was just about to say that. And actually in my course, I teach a course, Love Yourself, It's the community. We're actually having an alter ego challenge now. And I'm giving them all the reasons why and how their alter ego can help them step fully out and into themselves. It's awesome, y'all. It's awesome.
Okay, so everyone's gonna need to get, when you redo the course again, we gotta get everyone to do it.
Open.
It's
evergreen.
open.
Anybody
Okay,
can join at any time. Come on. I got
Okay,
you.
yes, because I fully encourage that. I think it's just, I think when you flip that in your head, it kind of gives you like, okay, this is not me, but it's really you on the low.
It's really you. That's what I tell them. Don't deny the fact that this is you. Own those parts of you. Own it. Let those parts shine. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to watch these ladies literally glow up and show up for themselves, and the ripple effect that it has in the community. Because when you can love on you and embrace those parts of you, it opens that up for you to do the same for other people. You know, so it's a ripple. It's a ripple effect.
Preach.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yes.
So in your work, I imagine in having to build other women up, it requires a lot of patience, because as women, we have low self-esteem oftentimes because of everything that the world has put on us. How do you maintain your patience in encouraging women when they're constantly giving you that, like, well, actually, I don't know if I am good enough, or I don't know if I can do that? Because to me, that would it can get discouraging having to tell someone over and over, because you know that they need to believe it. Where does that patience come from?
It's multifold. So I have a deep, daily, intentional spiritual and meditation practice where I fill myself up so that I have the energy to pour into other people on that level. And because I've been there in so many of the situations, I mean, a lot of the times people are in situations are just mirrors to where you've been or where you're going or where you're at right now. And because I've been there, I think I just have like this really deep understanding and level of patience with women, because I really want them to get it. So if I got to say it a lot of times, I'm a seed planter. I'm not going to sit there and coddle you and hold you and do all of that, but I'm going to plant some seeds, and I'm going to keep speaking life over you and into you. And, and eventually you're going to get it yourself. But this is not a situation that you can force people into. They really, really have to be ready. So a lot of the times my job is just planting them seeds to get them ready.
Oh, I love it. Now, when it comes to moving into self-help and like trying to overcome like how you were taught and conditioned and things like that, people who don't understand it kind of look at it like, that's just like too crazy for me, or like, they just, it's over their head. Yeah.
When I tell you, oof.
So yeah, I want to talk about that. Like, what is your approach to like when people are like, okay, you're doing too much. You're too crazy or whatever. They label it in whatever negative way they want to. And it makes me sad. But then I also understand like their brain was conditioned to think that. So like, what is your approach to that? And what is your like advice to people who think it's too much for them?
I say bite-sized pieces, little by little. Because I mean, if you had told me this 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been ready for all the stuff that I've been introduced to or have introduced myself to over the past 8 or 9 years. 10 years ago, you would have got a blank stare and a what? So it's like, it's really where you are in your journey, where you are in your level of self-awareness, and really just sometimes you just got to spoon feed people, a little at a time, because they're just not ready, and trying to force something on somebody is only going to make them more resistant.
That's what it is. It's the force. And it's like, and I remember I used to be that way, like in my late teens and early 20s. I would just like, when I would understand something that would be so helpful to me, I would want everyone around me to like be like, yo, yeah. And it's like, I'm a example, like, listen, but then it would just be too much sometimes. And, as I've gotten older, I've been like, okay, be a lot more softer with your approach. And at the end of the day, it's not my job to fix everybody. It's only my job to live my life and fix me. And if they want to learn by example, they will. And if not, their journey is going to be a little longer than mine. So,
yep. Yeah. And there you go. I'm going to just keep being that light. I'm going to keep, my whole thing was, before I even had a platform, I wanted to be a motivational beer. I just wanted to motivate people just in my being, whether I said something to you or it wasn't me preaching to you, scolding you, being on a soapbox. It's just how I was moving, and people start seeing that and they pick up on that. And a lot of times you have more influence that way than that strong arm way.
Yo, so I mean, and I know I don't like when people are just like, you need to do this or you should do that. Like, it will be the dopest thing, and I'll be like, I don't know. Like, versus when I just see somebody doing it themselves, and I'm like, okay, I want to do that. That's so dope. So, yes,
There you go. There
exactly.
you go. So it's like that leading by example, and people, people pick up more. People pick up and pay attention more than you know.
Oh, yes, they
Yeah.
do.
Yes, yes. So I'm gonna be honest. I am the type of woman that probably I need your course, because oftentimes, like my confidence sometimes isn't amazing. And let's say I am ready to reinvent myself and not feel like I'm doing too much or that I'm not enough. What are 3 tips that you could give me in reinventing myself?
Okay, only 3. Okay. Well, let's see. Okay, the first thing out the gate is forgive yourself and others. Like, to me, we carry around so much emotional and trauma and baggage that a lot of times that doesn't even allow us to really even see our beauty. That doesn't even give us a glimpse of our beauty on any level. So starting with that forgiveness process, first to yourself, then to everybody else, and then learning to release the pain in our past from the past or the present and have compassion for ourselves. Like, to me, that opens the gate for that self-love to pour in. And once self-love starts coming, you got self-worth, you got self-esteem, you got like all the selves just start kind of popping up. The next thing is be willing to take your life in a new direction. A lot of people won't change, they want transformation, but they ain't willing to do nothing to make things different. Like that saying, it's insanity to keep doing the same thing and expecting, different results. So it's all in what's your intention behind how you're showing up for yourself? Are you even aware that you're not showing up for yourself? So those types of things, y'all, and go to therapy. Go to
Yo,
therapy.
you
I
said
keep
it.
saying therapy. I'm a proponent. I am super advocate for all types of healing practices and dealing with those hurts, those pains, that conditioning, like all those things. And it can come in all different forms. And I got one more, y'all. Give yourself permission to question everything, like that thing. Like, because that in itself can help you reframe so much about yourself that you may not even realize.
I love it. I love how you just keep saying, give yourself permission. Like, give yourself permission. I
I'm a
think that,
permission giver, guys.
yeah. And I think we need to like practice that a lot more. It's just people, again, it's these little things that you say, you do, that flip in your brain that really change the outcome, your vision, everything. So I love that. Now you've been able to build like an amazing brand for yourself. Like, yeah, you have a platform, you have a voice. We're all looking to you to find some love for ourselves. Selfie. What now, this is something that I know like people listening to this show have difficulty with, and people I work with when it comes to building their own brand. So like, what are some ways that you've been able to build a name for yourself, and like talk about the process of building the King Moe brand?
Oh, okay. So, guys, I'm gonna be completely transparent here. When I first started my business, which was Monique Floyd Photography at the time, I had just came out of corporate. I was leaving corporate. I was liberating myself. I was doing what I wanted, how I wanted, when I wanted. Not even realize I was bringing so much of that BS with me in my business, and I was compartmentalizing who I was. So what I showed early on, because I've been at this for like 8-9 years now. What I showed early on was just those perfect sides of me, the visually and aesthetically pleasing things, not the real raw. Can I cuss on here? I don't know. The
Yes.
real raw shit. Like, that's the shit. When I flipped it and realized that I could be all of myself in my brand and in real life, that's when the magic just switched, y'all. Like, that's when the magic happened. And that's what I do for my personal branding clients. So aside from the course, I do personal branding photography. I tell stories for women. And I encourage them to show up as their full selves. We're not whitewashing. We're not watering ourselves down. Otherwise, how can people accept you if they don't even know who you are? Like that kind of thing. So that is my biggest tip to anybody starting out in their brand, is to come in it, step in it fully owning who you are.
People
And you're
are
gonna
so
learn.
scared. They're so
They are,
scared.
they
But
are, and they are scared because it's scary to really put yourself out there. It's scary to have people clap back when you're just being honest and sharing your opinions. But I feel like that's the only way that the needle can truly move, if we're moving as our whole selves. Now I ain't saying tell all your business, put all your business out there. No, that ain't what we're saying. I'm just saying you don't have I don't want women, especially women of color, to feel like they got to hide behind a mask because shit, we've been doing that long enough.
yo, seriously. And I'm always telling people, tell your story, be your authentic self, because people are looking for people to connect with. We're looking for
To
those who,
connect to.
you know,
Yes, and be
like
relatable with. Not that perfect
exactly.
shit. No.
Yeah.
And that's branding 101 right there for you. Okay.
There you go.
Now we gotta ask about this selfie stuff. Give us some tips on how to take some selfies. Because you know, we be out here, we ain't out no more. Our homegirls taking our homegirls ain't hitting our ankles anymore because we ain't out here. So please give us some tips on how to take some perfect selfies.
Tip number one, guys, is find your light, and that's that inner light and the external light. Like that inner light. I'm serious. That is the main thing, because like what I'm teaching is self-love, self-confidence, and visibility from within. You know, sometimes we got to fake it till we make it, but find that light. Get yourself in front of a window or a door. You know, and then when you're taking the selfie, play with those angles. Just play with it. Hold it out at arm's length. A lot of people be taking selfies with a bent elbow. Don't do that. No. Hold it out at arm's length. And then if you're in your head and you can't quite get the expression and the feel that you want, y'all, everybody got that song, that go-to song that just lightens their mood, lightens their face, lightens everything about it. Play your song. So find your light, find your song. And then you're going to find yourself having some bomb-ass selfies.
Yo, okay. And I got to share, this is so funny because I have it right here on my desk. My selfie stick right here.
Oh,
this is my favorite one. There's like, it comes with the remote.
Does yours move?
Yeah, so it moves. That's why I like this one. Because, yeah, no, it's like a tripod and everything. And like it goes, look, hella high. Like, okay, it's doing them. Look at that. So that's why you guys see on my page. This is looking good. And again, it has the remote, but you know, the iPhones have the timer, all that stuff. So a selfie stick is really important. And she's not lying about the light, because ever since I got this light, I've been acting funny. So
I love it. Well, that light will get you right, for real.
Yes. Well, Mo, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. We love talking with you, and please let people know where they can sign up for your course and learn more about all the cool things you're doing.
Most definitely. So you can find me on Instagram at I'm King Moe, on my website, I'm King Moe. Click on the Love Your Selfie course. You can enroll today. And come join the fun. I'm calling this a movement, guys. Like people tell us that it's vain to take selfies, that it's self-absorbed to love ourselves. And that's how they win. They're teaching us, to have low self-esteem, basically. And I'm here to push the opposite narrative. We're going to love ourselves. We're going to love our selfie. We can change the world while we do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Put it on a shirt. Come on. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. And okay, you guys see her handle. It's I'm King Moe. And yeah, let's join this challenge. We have so many challenges piled up, Naomi. We need to start.
I know. We need to get on it.
Summer is right around the corner, so we need to get our mind and soul right. Well, thank you again, Mo. We really appreciate you joining us today. Y'all make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, everywhere where podcasts are. What else, Naomi?
Yeah, if you have a business or brand, do not hesitate to sign up for our spotlight. Let us feature you and let people see you. It's free.
Yes.
And let us shine the light.
I love hearing I'm reading all the brand missions like that. Mm-hmm. I love it. People are just out here really doing
killing it.
Things. Mm-hmm. Yes. And make sure to also sign up for our exclusive discounts. All of this stuff can be found in our link in bio. So all you got to do is just hit the link in our bio, get all the tea right there. And we're just out here trying to help everyone glow up. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, thank you again for joining us, King Moe. And we'll be back next week, y'all.
Bye.